Hey guys, what is going on? Lego Man 123 here, and welcome back to another Lego news video. Where today in this episode we have quite a lot of Lego news, ranging from Lego Mario, Lego Marvel, including Spider-Man, and these are all the Lego 2021 set images. So without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off with Lego Super Mario, this is the second wave, and firstly we have Master Your Adventure. I really like how instead of just having like another starter pack for like maybe Mario or Luigi, I like how we're just getting like a set just full of just random things, just different plates for Mario. We have Larry, I really love the inclusion of him, but then there's this really interesting build for some sort of like customizing your own block, which is some really advanced sort of technology, so I'm interested to see how that does work. But I think this is a really interesting idea because it sort of reminds me of like those Minecraft sets, how you can sort of customize your own world and all that. So this is very similar to that, but Mario is a little more interesting because like the whole sort of technology side of it with like the customize your own block, and then just the Goomba, the Boom, like the bomb, I'm pretty sure, and then the Flying Koopa, I believe, yeah, and then Larry. I think they have some really nice inclusions, and Mario or Luigi are not included because you could very easily tell because like they have a sort of ghosted out version of Mario, and that does mean he's not included, so he's still only in one set. Then we have probably one of my favorite sets for this wave of Lego Super Mario, because when I used to play Super Mario on the Wii and then the Wii U, every time I got up to level 5, or like the sort of biome for level 5, yeah, I guess you could say level 5, it was always my favorite with like the swamp. I just loved the look of it, and then the wigglers were so awesome. I really am glad Lego did create a set on this because I think they captured it really nicely with the really unique design it does have with the detailing for like the spots and the head. And then I really love the purple plates with this, especially the smooth tiles where the wiggler is. And then the other play feature as well with like this sort of bridge is really interesting, but the wiggler is by far my favorite part. Then we have the chain chomp jungle encounter. Now this is also probably one of my favorite sort of level 5 villains, maybe, or like sort of henchmen, is like this sort of vine thing. I always just love hiding under it and like bouncing on its head, and then it sort of like switches direction. So I'm really glad they did have this sort of henchman in a sort of Lego Super Mario set, and I really love those vine pieces they did use because they have such a unique design, and I think Lego did capture that very well. And then the chain chomp is an interesting play feature as well, because it seems like if you sort of press on the plate, like the chain chomp will like come out, which is definitely really interesting because that sort of does happen. Like if you walk near it, sort of like come out, so really nice. And then we have the Piranha plant puzzling challenge, and this is probably my least favorite Lego Super Mario set because honestly, it really doesn't look like too much of a challenge, because it sort of looks like you spin it and like you gotta like quickly press on, or like sort of put Mario on like the block. I've actually never seen that block before in Lego Mario, so it might be something to do with like cursed coins maybe, because it's like a red, but I'm not 100% sure. But I do love the design for it with like all the gears in the purple color, and then also that really nice sort of light brown, and then the piranha plants are really interesting as well, but I kind of wish it was a bit more of a challenge because it does look really simple and it really doesn't look too much of a challenge. Then we have one of the first Lego sort of Mario. Hey, we did. And then for the second wave of Lego Mario, we also have the sort of suits for Mario, and this one is the Penguin Mario, and this was probably one of my favorite ones to play with in like the biome with like the snow and all that, and I just love the look of it. I believe with like the fins, I believe they're called on a penguin, I think you do attach them to Mario's arms, which is definitely really cool, but I'm not too sure on how that would work. So would you have to take out Mario's arms, or would they just like sort of attach to his arms, almost like a shoulder armor in a way? But it does look really interesting, and I'm excited to see what would actually happen once you do put it on Mario. So like, could you slide along and like you would actually get coins, or as you slide along, could you like jump and then like bounce onto villains? So we're just gonna have to wait and see. And then the next one, I'm pretty sure this is how you pronounce it, the Tanuki Mario, I believe that's how you do pronounce it. And I'm pretty sure this is the one where like you can fly, I believe, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Oh no, that's like the raccoon. Oh, what's the Tanuki one? Okay, I'm not 100% sure on what the Tanuki one does, but I'm really glad they did include it because we're just getting some really unique suits for Mario and possibly in the future also Luigi. So I do love the look of it with like the little leaf sort of logo on there once you do actually put it on. The design for it is really interesting. And then at the back there actually is a print for a tail, which is really cool. I kind of wished maybe we got like a sort of tail piece, but I can see why, because it may have been a little hard to sort of do that, especially for like the design for Mario and all that. And then we have the Lego Super Mario, the Blind Bag Series 2, and once again, these have such a unique design with all 10 of the builds. I just love the look of them. Some of my favorites would probably be the Shy Guy. I think that's such a really unique design. And then the purple cheap fish, I believe that's what it's called. I just really love the look of that with like the really nice purple, the wings. And then also probably like this mushroom. It does look really interesting in that really nice purple color. And this is the one, I think it's a poison mushroom, so if like you step on it or like you put Mario on it, I think you get poisoned or something. So that's really interesting with that sort of reaction for Mario, so that's really cool. And then also like this crab, I think it's like a crab ninja or something. I think it's something along the lines of that, but I just love the look of it. Some really simple pieces, but also really effective, and I just love this Goomba on a parachute. I think that is really awesome. I love the design for the parachute, especially with the plant piece in the white coloring, and then the packaging for it is once again really cool. I love the green background and just all of the 10 builds in this LEGO Super Mario Series 2. Next up, we have some LEGO Marvel news, and firstly, it is Avengers, and this is the Captain America Mech, and honestly, I love the overall design for this. I would definitely love to see LEGO in the future do like uncommon superheroes, like possibly Captain Marvel. That'd be a really cool mech. Maybe like Miss Marvel, I believe that's what her name is, like how she can sort of like stretch. And then also like Fantastic Four, that'd be really awesome to see. Just like uncommon superheroes where we really don't get to see them in sets too often. So I really hope they do that in like a cheap $10 set. So the overall design for the mech is really nice. I love the coloring for it with like the red, the blue, the silver, and then also the dark silver or like grey, because that is like the most common colors for Captain America. It's mostly blue and red, but I do like that sort of color of the dark grey and light grey. The shield on that, really nice. I believe it's called a satellite piece or like a disc piece, is really awesome. I'd love to see how they actually do attach it to like the mech. Is it got like a handle, or is it just like connected to his hand? We're just gonna have to wait and see. But I do love that print on the disc piece. I really hope that is not a sticker, because that'd be really annoying to put on. I do love the 1x2 on the tile, the circular tile of the shield. I think that is really nice. And then how Captain America does like stand up there, stand in the mech, is basically how all these sort of people or minifigs sit in the mechs. So that is really cool. And then the Captain America minifig is actually exclusive, which is definitely really awesome. He does seem to have some really nice torso printing, but my only problem with the minifig is the helmet, because back in the day when like they did LEGO superhero sets, they actually had Captain America with like helmet printing on his head, and I thought that was really cool. So it's just really strange just seeing a helmet on him. I know that in the movies and the television shows and all that, he actually does have a helmet on, but I think it looks a lot more better in LEGO if he actually does have his helmet printed on his head. That is just my opinion, though. The next mech is the Thor one, and This one is honestly, it's just okay. I don't think the colors really work as well as the Captain America one did, because we do have this sort of like dark, sort of brown color. I don't think it really works for Thor, because if you think of Thor, you possibly might think of like red, silver, blue, which does represent lightning. You really wouldn't think of the color they actually use for like the belt and then also like the legs. And then these parts, the red parts at the back, I think that's his cape or something, but I'm really not too sure. But those pieces do look really interesting. And then the the hammer inclusion is definitely really awesome. I do love the design for that, with like these really awesome 1x2 translucent blue bricks with some thunder printing or like stickers on them. And then the hammer part in like the light grey also has some really nice printing or a sticker on it. And then the Thor minifig is also really interesting, because I believe this one is the one from the Avengers game, but I might be wrong there. The torso printing is okay. I do like the inclusion of like the sort of cape, sort of like half showing on the front of his torso. The helmet like mold is definitely really cool as well. But this is probably my least favorite out of the three mechs. And then the final mech is the Miles Morales one. And honestly, wow, the design for this is so awesome. Firstly, I love the inclusion of the translucent blue spiderweb pieces, because it's really interesting to actually get those pieces in such a cheap set, because they could be definitely really useful. And then the Spider-Man Miles Morales minifig is so awesome. I love his torso printing with like the hood piece, which was introduced in the Lego Star Wars set in a brown coloring for Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I'm really glad they actually are using that hood piece. And instead of just getting like a Miles Morales minifig with like his suit on, I'm really glad they have like his sort of casual clothes on. So I think that is really awesome. The coloring for the mech is also really great. I love the red, the black, and then I also believe like light grey, including some like dark grey. So I just love the overall design for it, including the translucent blue spiderweb pieces. And I really love that action with the fingers, how like he's shooting out the webs. Moving on to LEGO Marvel Spider-Man news. The first set is Spider-Man and Ghost Rider vs. Carnage. Now it's really awesome seeing a different version of a Ghost Rider, because I believe this is a different actor who actually does play Ghost Rider. I can't actually remember his name. The only time I've actually seen Ghost Rider was with Nicolas Cage, but I believe there was another version of him at one point, and I really like the design for the minifig. The head printing is very interesting. I really love the sort of fire coming off the top of his head, and then the car he does drive has a really interesting design to it. I love the flames coming off it with like the stud shooters like shooting at fire at like the exhaust, I believe, at the front of the car. The Spider-Man minifig has some really awesome arm printing. That's really cool with like the blue and the red. And then the Carnage minifig, I believe, is nothing new. I believe he did appear in other Spider-Man sets in the past. Now it would have been really awesome to actually see maybe something more included, and instead of just like a car build for Ghost Rider. So maybe possibly Carnage could have had maybe like a sidekick, maybe like Venom or something, just something more to add to it, because there's really not too much of a build. It's only just the car. It would have been really awesome to actually see Ghost Rider possibly have like a new updated version for his motorbike, but the car is definitely a great inclusion. It's a really nice, I believe, 8-stud wide car. The overall design for it and just the way it looks is really awesome. Next we have the LEGO Spider-Man's monster truck vs. Mysterio. And wow, when I first heard about Spider-Man's monster truck, I honestly thought it would be something to do like as a vehicle for Spider-Man, because we usually do just get vehicles for Spider-Man, even though that he can like sort of swing to buildings and like crime scenes and all that. And then my other thought hearing about a Spider-Man monster truck was that like it's just a civilian driving a sort of a Spider-Man inspired monster truck, but I got the the first part of it right. It's Spider-Man driving a car even though he doesn't need it, and it's an okay vehicle. The wheels do look a little too big on it, like the sort of part you can actually see like how it does work. It feels just too big, so like maybe if they sort of squished it down a bit, it would work a little more. But the design for like the upper part for the monster truck is really cool with some really nice stickers and prints. I especially love the license plate for that, and then the minifig selection is actually pretty awesome. We're getting, I believe, that new version for Spider-Man. We're getting Dr. Octopus or Dr. Octavius, and he honestly reminds me so much of the oh man, well I just had it, the Dr. Octavius from the Spider-Man PS4 game, and it honestly looks so much like him. Really glad we're getting him in this set. And then we have, what's her name, Spider-Gwen, and I believe this is a new version for her because I believe she last appeared last year maybe, or in another set, but it may be just the same version. And then the Mysterio minifig with that, the hidden side ghost piece. It just looks so awesome. I would love to see that in a black coloring because it does look really cool in the green. I'm excited to see what it would look like in black because that is what like the Death Eaters would work really nicely for as a like sort of flying. So that'd be really awesome. And then the Mysterio minifig is definitely great. The cannon or like the sort of web shooter cannon definitely does look really cool as well. It seems to have a different design to the one we actually got from the Mountain Police because it does look a little different, but it may be just similar, which is like a different coloring to it. And then the box art on this set, and then also this set is really awesome. I love like Spider-Man in the top right corner and just the overall design. The next set is Attack on the Spider Layer, and wow, there's definitely a lot going on in this set. I love all the exclusive suits. No, I think only the exclusive suit is this one here in the middle. The Iron Spider we have seen, and then I believe this suit we have seen possibly as well. So the middle suit is the only exclusive one, and that is the Ultimate Spider-Man. It really reminds me of a suit from the Spider-Man PS4 game, and I just love the overall design for it. The coolest detailing, in my opinion, would probably be like the computer setup. I just love the look of it with just like the different prints or stickers on like the sort of translucent pieces. Just the overall design for it is really cool. This motorbike build is interesting, but I don't think it would have to be necessary because Spider-Man can like sort of go to building using his webs. So they could have possibly maybe included something else there. And then we have this basketball ring here. It's a really interesting inclusion because like Spider-Man, he's like a teenager. He wants to have fun sometimes. So like I'm really glad they did include this just to have like the sort of setup here for Spider-Man to like sort of chill out and just like shoot some hoops. So I'm really glad they did include that. The Green Goblin minifig, I believe, is possibly a new version for him. I do love the sort of the Goblin. Oh, I think he had a Pacific. The Green Goblin. Oh, what's it called? Oh, I forgot the name of like the the transportation he rides. Oh man. And then we do have Venom. He's nothing new, I believe. And then we have this really cool ramp over here. So honestly, wow, this set is really awesome. I just love everything included in this set, except for the motorbike. I feel like that they could have possibly maybe changed it out for something else. So, hope you guys did enjoy this LEGO news video as much as I did making it, because there was definitely a lot of really awesome and also some really interesting LEGO news, and I definitely really did enjoy sharing my thoughts and opinions on it. So, I would definitely love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below on all the LEGO news I did share for today's episode. And as always, guys, hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I can see you soon. Goodbye.